All right, I did a mic test like earlier, so hopefully it sounds okay. If not, well, I'm gonna take a fat L on this one. So yeah, new Deadly Assault reset. Let's see how this goes. Actually, I'll probably do this at the end of the video. Actually, let's just go take a look. I think these are refreshed. Now I got 14 hours on this. I thought they were synchronized. Anyway, let's see. Who do we have? Okay, so clearly fire. Ugh, that doesn't sound good. I'll have to. This one's gonna take a while because I think I'll probably have to work on making sure Monato's good for that one. Obviously, this one's gonna be super easy. I'm actually curious. Since I pulled Vivian, I haven't fought her, so I'm probably gonna do this one first, just to see what kind of numbers I can throw up with my Vivian Jane, whatever. This is basically tailor made for her. Ideally, it's tailor made more for Alice, but whatever, doesn't really matter, either way. And then obviously I have a team tailor made for this as well. So these two are solid. This one's kind of iffy because let's see, suitable for rupture agents. His defense is increased by 40%, which kind of forces you. So obviously, Soldier 11 is not going to make the cut here. I think when an agent's hits Wandering Hunter for each stack of Wavering. What the heck am I looking at here? It's all too complicated. Defensive assist and evasive assists. Okay. I do the using perception to break. Another 2,000. Something like that. This is I'll have to take a look at this later on my own time. But anyway, the point being, Soldier 11 is not going to work really well on here because he's got 40% defense increase. That becomes irrelevant if you're using Minato. So I'm gonna have to I'm either gonna have to try using Minato, or ideally, I don't know. We'll see. Minato, I might have to go with Minato, but I think Yishuan might still be decent here. He's not weak to Ether, but the fact that Yishuan is still a pretty good DPS with defense penetration might be the way to go. But right now, I'm still working on Minato. We can come look at him real quick. He's not even at level 50 yet. I'm working on him. It's just everything's so expensive. I don't have his weapon because I haven't pulled on the weapon banner. I've just pulled for Vivian and Lucia. So normally I just run him with her weapon. You're losing out on the ether damage down here, but at least you're getting 20% crit rate plus 30% HP and a higher base attack. I don't know. I have to go look at like some stats. It might outperform his weapon, but I kind of doubt it. Like his weapon at R5 looks ridiculous. Yeah, his stats are they're kind of mid. This is crit damage. It should be crit rate. I don't know what happened to my crit rate. 5p. This might be decent on him. If I get an HP roll and then everything. Actually, let's just run this. Well, okay. The reason I don't run crit rate here, I'm running crit damage, is because for one, this gives him another 20, not this. Her thing gives him another 20. So it's already at 57. Plus, one of his like something here gives him 10% crit chance. I don't know. I haven't read all this. I skimmed it over one time. Here we go. Crit rate increased by 10%. And if I get his weapon comes another like 24%. So he just stacks on. And then not to mention this set also gives him another 12%. So he's just like oozing crit rate is the point I'm trying to make. If I get his weapon. If not, 20% isn't too far off from the 4%. So either way, you're still getting something. I think, don't you get something from his Mindscapes too?
Yeah, I guess this outfit ain't too bad.
Bandages are kind of annoying. Fire damage. Don't know. I guess not. Okay, I guess not. Doesn't matter. Point being that yeah, hopefully I get Lucia so I can make that run a little easier with him. But if not, that's okay too. Let's go to let's just get in there. I'm taking too long. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna do this one first. Anomaly proficiency, generic. Anomaly buff. Fantastic. Let's see. So we'll do the builds here at the beginning. This is my Jane. 2300 attack. These are skill ups. You don't really need to skill them up, but she's my favorite unit, so I'm slowly working on 12ing all of her skills. Just just for the sake of it. It's a waste of resources. I just like, I don't have enough hamster cage. I don't have 3, and I gotta save some for Lucio if when and if I get her. So there's that. These are her disk drives and her weapon. We'll go over her. Her stats aren't too bad. They're not great, but they're not too bad. Like I could use more AP on that. 2 is decent. I could get more attack on that. This is pretty nice. I could get more AP on that. So not great, but not terrible. Her high attack and low AP is obviously because she's running this. Her skills are kind of low. I don't know what to prioritize. I went with plus 12ing this because this is what she does off field. She comes in. Her off field attacks are this. I think they're Feather Blooms and all this stuff. So I just figured, well, that's going to be what she mostly does. So hopefully scale that up. And then I've been working on these over time. But right now, Monado is kind of the higher priority just to get him ready for Deadly Assault. And besides, she does decent anyway. So, like I said, her as an anomaly unit, her skill ups aren't really that important anyway. It's just for the sake of completion. So I'm going to get all these 3 to 11, and then I'll be done with her. Unless someone in the comments can tell me maybe one of these is better at 12, let me know. Because like I said, I'm not going to read all that. And I know what they kind of do roughly, and I know how to play her, right? It's not really, necessary. So anyway, hers, obviously you do need to get these plus 12 because her buffs are reliant on them. So like this right here does 25% buildup, and then there's some other stuff to do with it. This affects how long the state lasts. So for her, you actually have to get those. You don't have to, but it's recommended to get them as high as possible. AP and attack is all you need for her, but attack is kind of the most important thing just to get her stat up to 3,000. And then after that, worry about AP. So let's see.
I would never turn down Lord Nathan.
I've got your back.
Oh!
I am.
The menu lags so hard. It doesn't lag per se, but it's not good either. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Sorry, I got distracted for a second there. Yeah, so we're gonna go with this. One of the cool things about this is that Robin is such a good. He's like one of the best. He's like one of the best. What's it called? Bang boos in general. If you have an anomaly unit, if the Mockingbird unit's an anomaly person, he does the crowns, which build up more anomaly. Which is good because the crowns give Aether damage and Aether anomaly. So he doesn't act as like he doesn't act as a second Aether anomaly applicant, but it's pretty good regardless. So just because you have two physical, and then having Robin back up Vivian is just fantastic. The synergy works so well. I mean, it's meant to be that way, you know what I mean? But I like it. Plus Robin's like my favorite Bang Boo. Plug Boo, I like him too. Who's the other one? I have to go in to look at him. I think King Boo is probably one of my other favorites. I like that little working Boo too, the little salary man. The most irritating thing about running this team is the fact that nobody has energy at the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, you can't activate Yuzuha's buff at the beginning. You have to wait for her to get energy. You can't activate what's her name? Vivian.
Found your weakness.
You can't activate Vivian until you either get a yellow flash. Somebody also, if anybody knows, right? Is it better to do what I do? Oh, what? I messed up. I'm gonna have to go back and do it again. But the point is, I may not, just because. But anyway, is double chaining with her and then activating both of these Salcho jumps better?
Let's make this quick.
Because I don't know. I swap between doing them and not doing them. But I don't know. Somebody could probably educate me on that. She's one of my favorite units. I like this lady. This is the only part that I really don't like, because like everyone else, it's like, it takes a lot of effort to get max bonus points, right? Not a lot of effort, but it takes more effort than none at all, right? And hers is just like, oh, just dodge these little spikes or whatever that are just like obnoxiously easy to dodge. It's really funny to me. It's really, it's not bad per se. It's just one of those things. It's just like, oh man, the one boss that's attuned to my account has like the most baby like, whatever.
I'll make it painless. Hit him where it hurts.
Oh, I dodged it. I thought I did anyway. Come on. Yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, I feel like the, this is better just because it gives her more anomaly buildup, so she gets more, of her procs off. What was that? Well, oh, I'm just gonna start over. What was that? She missed the ult! I didn't even know that was possible! Plus, that score was kind of lame. I had like 30 seconds left, and I'm only at 24. I should be a lot higher than that. That was crazy. But like, you know what I mean? Like, look at this. What am I supposed to do? I'm just sitting here waiting for everybody to get energy. Obviously, I could swap into Vivian here. And I messed up. I'm trying to do the, what's it called? I forgot. They have an official name for it, but the dodge cancel or whatever. That's basically what it is. The dodge cancel. It's because you can dodge. The timing is so lenient that you can dodge into a dodge attack, a dodge counter or whatever, and get the parry off at the same time. And that's what you kind of, you need to, that more than anything else is a technique you really have to master with Jane. There we go. See, she completes her, that's a technique you really have to master with Jane more than anyone else, because Jane obviously benefits a lot from,
Now,
ult here.
you're the prey.
Because she really needs as much of her little bar or meter or whatever as possible. So you can't really afford to not do it.
Found your weakness.
That's gonna, we're just ult her. This should pop her into daze. There we go.
Careful.
Yeah, I don't know. This might be better. I think with Vivian specifically, it might not. Just because her chain attack might give her, but the fact that usually her ult is up for the first stun means that I don't feel like you need to chain attack into her. Like what I was gonna say was just mainly I'm pretty sure she might benefit from it just from the getting more feather blooms or whatever.
No escape.
Oh, that went worse than last time. My gosh. Because last time by now when she threw these spikes out, I had 10,000, so I went down 800. Ugh, I don't know how this phase cuts in weird. I don't know. She might just cut out earlier or sooner, depending on whatever, but I don't know. All I know is sometimes I have less score when she hits this point, and sometimes I have more score. I felt like I did better that time, though, which is kind of weird. I shouldn't ult here, but I'm just going to try to pop her out of, there we go.
Hit him where it hurts. Let's make this.
Oh, I didn't realize I ran out of whatever. Let's hit her with this. Hopefully this pushes her into stun. Yeah, there we go.
Careful. I bite.
Who dares get between me and Lord Satan?
Wanna know what lurks in the darkness? Here's a taste of the abyss.
I'm running out of time. 30k is not as much as I would have hoped for this team.
No escape. Found your weakness.
I gotta focus on swapping. If I swap to Vivian, if I hard swap, I have to focus on making sure not to use. Basically, every time I want to hard swap into Vivian or into what's her name, the Yuzuha. Every time I want to hard swap into Yuzuha, what I need to do is find an opportunity to swap into Vivian, because one of the issues that comes up is that I have Jane, and then I'm like running low on the buff, so I'll swap into Yuzuha, and then I swap back into Jane, and then something will come up where I can swap into Vivian, but Vivian, like, if I do like an EX special, and I swap into Vivian, and she does her thing, if she swaps too fast, even if I swap back in, even if I press the left bumper, which swaps me back into Jane, because Jane's not ready, and there's like a sort of some kind of internal cooldown. I'm not sure how exactly it works. You guys can kind of correct me in the comments, but there is some kind of like little internal cooldown that doesn't make it so you can just swap back and forth super fast, unless it's like specific times, like when you're fighting the priest, the miasma priest, where he just chain attacks you or whatever. That'll let you just go back and forth between two characters as much as you want, right? But under normal circumstances like here, because Jane is still busy and hasn't completed whatever she's doing, sometimes it'll force you to swap into Yuzuha because Jane's not ready. So like I said, the point is I need to make sure that every single time I want to swap into Yuzuha, I do it through Vivian first, just to make sure I'm not wasting time. Because as you saw there, sometimes I'll go to Jane, go to Vivian, expecting to go back into Jane, but then I go to Yuzuha, and then I'm kind of like flailing around, wasting time, and I have to swap back into Jane again. So that's like I said, these are just things that I have to master with Jane. Hopefully we can get this score a little higher. 32 is a little disappointing for what? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 4-cost team. Yeah, 32 is a little disappointing for a 4-cost team, but I think I might get this. Like, with this team, specifically with Jane, out of all the things that I do, so if I, like, my Sambi team, let's go over here for a second. Jane, in comparison to, like, my Sambi team and my Yishuan team, out of all my teams, Jane is the most inconsistent. Not, like, necessarily in a bad way. I feel like I should have more of these. I think I should have 2 of these, like 2 crowns. I don't know why it only gives me 1. I don't know. Anyway, the point being that, because I've had, I mean, you guys have all seen this channel. I've had 9 stars on everything since I started uploading videos, and that's way before they introduced this tracker. Anyway, with my Jane team specifically, it is the most inconsistent. Like I could get 30,000 and then keep trying, and then eventually end up with like a 40,000 with her. With my Sambi team, it's like I'll hit like 40,000, and then I'm just eking out like 1 or 2,000 at a time, like very minimal, and then end up with like 42 or whatever. And then with like Yishuan, it's the same thing, where it's just like it'll be like 25 or whatever, and then I'll just go up maybe 26 or something, just 1 or 2,000 after like a week's worth of effort. So yeah, I think we can maybe get Jane a little higher, but in terms of consistency, my other 4-cost teams, because let's see, if we look at, like, this is a 4-cost team, Rupture, Attack Agents, Electric. Let's go with, I'm not gonna run it. I'm just looking at the team here.
It's been a while. I've got you covered.
Then it's Nicole. What is this? This is 1, 2, 3 because I have her weapon, 4 because I have her weapon, and 5 because I have her M1 Mindscape. This is a 5-cost team. It used to be a 4-cost. Now it's a 5-cost. So at a 5-cost team, 40,000 isn't too bad. Just collect this so it doesn't annoy me. And then over here, we've got... My Yishuan team is like the cheapest, which makes sense why it always ends up performing the least. This is the 1, 2 cost. He doesn't cost, but because I have him on... Oops. Because I have him on this, it is a 1 cost. So that's a 3 cost. plus she doesn't count, and so it's a 3-cost team. Again, so you can see here the breakdown. It makes sense. Just like the how many point costs you have does translate over pretty well into how much points you get in Deadly Assault. But anyway, that's it for today. The next video is going to be the Defiler, and then this one might take a while. I'm definitely going to get it done before the season ends, but as you can see, my I might, you know what? I'll do this, and then I'll do this, and then I'll do this one first, and then I'll do this one. I'll just use this with Yishuan and see how far I get. And then, you know, throughout the season, I'll work on getting Man Auto built and see how that ends up doing. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys next time.